welcome to 20-minute balayage, and who knows, you might get it done even a little sooner because we are going to be using the art of perfect blonding placement to get us to our end results in just a few sections. So let's get going. And our first section that we take is right here, just with a diagonal forward section right behind the ear, and I'm over directing that section towards me and towards her face. So if I'm over directing it forward and I'm painting a diagonal back, that diagonal back is going to be even steeper when I drop it down. Now this section, because it's laying underneath the top of the hair, okay? So because this is coming from the underneath, we're focusing all of our painting lower on those ends. This is extremely important, you guys, because knowing where to paint and how far up or how low to paint is going to help your processing time go faster, as well as your application time go faster. This is extremely important because you are creating the sparkled, highlighted effect right off of their parting and letting all of the depth live underneath those soft highlights. So when you break the hair down to roots, mid-shaft, and ends, and you focus a lot of what the ends can do for you, and you really lean into that, that's going to give you that superhuman like ability to just move super quickly through any technique. So because she has long layers, I'm able to get away with painting 3 inches of the ends, like very blonding up those 3 inches, and then of course feathering up for some more warmth, gentle, transition through the mids. There is no right or wrong. When it comes to balayage, there's just the end result. Did you apply the product appropriately? Did you saturate appropriately? Did you put the right amount of pressure? And did you paint correctly? Is everything blended? Are we good to go? Is the front money piece section more heavily saturated than what I painted just behind it? Now, this is so important because if I painted those mid shafts at all, I would end up with a lot of warmth and I would have to increase my processing time a lot more. So the opportunity for just banging it out of the park and getting it done super fast by just focusing only on the ends of the hair is what makes this such like a rapid process and where all of the area of opportunity really lies. So I'm elevating it at a 90 degrees out of the head or higher. And the reason for this is that you're going to get more diffusion in the mid shaft the higher you elevate this section, and you're also going to incorporate all of the ends of the hair so that when you drop it down now and she shakes it out, she's going to feel like there's this punch of blonde all over her head. You can see how quickly you can move through this because there's just so little work in the interior. When you're working through an entire head of balayage or foliage or whatever it is, when you're focusing a lot of the work at the root area and maybe you're having to put a million foils in or you're having to paint a bunch of different painting patterns because they want to see something at the root, then obviously it's going to take you longer. And this technique can't be used for every client. This technique is going to be really good for people who need a refresh. And you can see that I'm actually elevating this section highest of all. So when you think about a long layered haircut and how you're holding these sections within a haircut, that's basically the same elevation that you're going to be using. If it's too blended, it's too soft looking, then you're not going to get the appropriate amount of lift that you need. So you need to make sure that there's just like this heavy amount of product on there. So I'm making sure with my hands right here that I'm applying about a medium pressure at that mid-length and then maximum pressure on those ends and just blending it away from there.
I think that the temptation is to kind of balayage all the sides of this, but the thing is, the less you balayage and the more strategic you are about the placement of that balayage, the more it's going to just pop. You know, it's almost like even the part that you balayage kind of just like fans out and spreads out a little bit. It's because of the tension that you're applying. I'm gripping it really strongly and putting lots of attention on that section. Attention and tension. And for that reason, the hair's in a specific kind of order and placement, and that is where you want that feathering to happen. And then when you drop it down, it's going to take on a new shape, new form, but it's trust yourself that that's exactly where you want the painting to be. This is kind of a time-saving thing. If you're just really aware of where you're holding the hair and that you're going to have like saturated lightener all the way through that section of where you're placing your fingertips, it helps you to not have to have a wet towel that you keep going back to or constantly wiping off your hands. Just being mindful throughout the whole process of all of it. So really paying tons of attention to your pressure, your tension, and then obviously the amount of product that's on your brush is all going to yield the perfect end result that you want to see. And stop the clock, 16 minutes, 25 seconds. It could have almost been 15-minute balayage, right?